What do you know there, Mr. D-Roy?
Man, I know that it's been a crazy week. We had a special episode in there, and now we're to episode 7. Lucky number 7.
There you go. It means we've been a little consistency.
Hey, we're really showing up, right?
Those of you who are just catching on to episode 7, well, go back and get the first 6 so you can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely go back and check out. Now we got archives that you can go and listen to. We got all sorts of good information going up there. How's your week been?
You know, it's been great. This is, like I said, this is DeathPile and Taxes, your podcast, everything DeathPile and Taxes.
And I'm Derek Everett. I'm the DeathPiles of the group.
Well, my week's been great. You know why?
Why's that? What we got going?
We've had 156 downloads to our podcast.
156 downloads. Now, here's what we need to turn that into, right?
Cash?
Well, I just want more listeners. If you're listening, you're one of the 156, go tell a friend, right?
That's right.
Say, listen to these guys. Maybe they are entertaining. I don't know.
It's been fun because we get a little, we get some feedback.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
I'm reading your paper already.
Oh, are you? You can read upside down and backwards and my writing? That's a skill, my friend.
Dude, I do people's taxes all day long, and they bring in piles of crap, and I know more about it than they do.
Hey, if you can read crap, you're a better man than me.
I do interpret the IRS tax code.
You talk a lot of crap to the IRS. I know that much about you.
I got in trouble today again.
What'd you do?
Well, I was helping a client. They moved to Wyoming. Anyways, I won't get into too many details.
Yeah, let's not get them in trouble while I don't hear the story.
But the state of Utah thinks that they owe them money.
Doesn't every state think everybody owes them money?
You know, I'm really fishy on that. But yeah, I may have got a little upset. And you know what happened after about 45 minutes?
They hung up on you.
No, they actually agreed with me, and they told me to go to some other places, and guess what I did?
You went to those other places?
And I got the information, and we're working on getting that taken care of.
And then you went to the other place, and they said, I don't know why they sent you here. There's nothing we can do for you.
They did, but I think I was able to figure it out. So that's
I've dealt with enough customer service that I know how that runaround gets, but then when you add in government agencies, that's just a long line to get to another long line most of the time.
It's past the buck. But, I just realized, I like what I do for a living.
That's the secret, right? That's why most of us are trying to sell online, make a little extra money, that kind of thing, so that we have that freedom to do what we like. Or, sell online what you like if you like your job, and a little extra income's always a good thing. But yeah, doing what you like, that's the secret to life.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to sell stuff online all day. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're taking those steps, right?
I got my items, remember that. I haven't listed them yet, but I've got them.
Well, here's my number one question people from last week on the follow-up. They said to me, Derek, we listened to that episode. What is a fruit merchant and why are they busy?
Wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't the feedback I got.
That's what I got. So a fruit merchant is somebody that sells fruit at either what would you call it, a market or a flea market perhaps, a city square, maybe at your local vendor at your local grocery store. Now what fruit does is it has a short shelf life.
Oh, gotcha.
So you have like the apples, the pears, the bananas, kiwis, so on and so forth.
When's the last time you ate a kiwi?
Like a week ago. I buy them from the Costco. I get the yellow kind. You ever had the yellow kiwi? The Goldens?
No.
Yeah, you are missing out. Next time you get over to Costco, what you need to do is you need to go buy you one of the yellow kiwis. Thank me later.
Why don't you buy some and bring them? Because that's a problem when you go to Costco. Like, you buy everything in bulk.
Well, there's the Clark Howard rule to that. You don't get a cart at Costco. You only buy what you can carry.
Oh, well. I spent about $350 last time I was there.
Well, throw another $6 on that. Get yourself some kiwis. You'll thank me later. Your breakfast routine will change.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, this fruit merchant's a busy man because when things go bad, you got to get out of the pile. Remember what happens with one bad apple?
No, help me out.
One bad apple ruins the whole bunch.
Okay.
The barrel.
Sure.
So they got to get that apple out there before the other ones are ruined. So what this fruit merchant is doing is he's going around and he's cleaning up all the fruit. He's a busy man. That's what it means. You're a busy man. You're busy as a fruit merchant.
Our feedback said, tell me about that. You know what? I still don't understand. So.
Like I said, a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest too, but I decided to go a little classier.
I like when you go classy-less. You get that classy-less.
Classy-less?
Yes.
I mean, from a guy that eats kiwis, I don't get it.
I
don't get it.
You are kind of highfalutin.
And an exotic fruit, nonetheless.
Next thing you're going to tell me is probably organic.
Oh, yeah. Costco, everything's organic. That's the way it's going, man. Eat clean. Get lean, right?
Sure.
Eat your cabbage diet.
Cabbage is doing well.
It's I can see from here. Oh, I can barely see if you turn sideways. You sit across from me. The people on the internet, he's to my right, but you're left on the radio dial. Oh, my goodness. I think we just had a what was that?
Well,
I don't think the people heard that.
Well, for me, that's essentially a sell.
Okay.
That means somebody's working on their program, and I just got notified that they're done.
Well, that just tells me, move along, buddy. No one's here for Hot Fruit Talk. That's your other podcast.
That's true. Let's be honest here.
So this week I sold a T-shirt, and it was kind of funny because we were talking about my pro wrestling shirts.
Which I know we talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
I like telling people when they come in, they ask what you've been up to. I'm like, I'm making a podcast.
Uh-huh.
About what? Yeah, my buddy sells wrestling T-shirts on the interwebs.
Yeah, well, this was once again, you can tweet at me and I'll tell you what it was. But I'm not just going to give that right over the air. This is only episode 7.
Rowdy the Rowdy Brand Piper?
Let's just say it was for over $100 for a T-shirt from the group that we talked about a few weeks back.
Your lot.
From the lot. So if you remember, I paid somewhere in the $200 range for the whole lot. I've made $600, probably close to $700 on T-shirts from that lot.
On just a couple items.
So I've made in profit.
Man,
and paid back what I bought it for.
You're a smart guy.
Also, today, I sold a Christmas ornament.
A Christmas ornament?
A Superman Christmas ornament.
Yeah, because, nothing makes me think Christmas like February 27th.
That's what people say, you can't sell this stuff year-round. You got to take stuff out of your store. That's why I say list it and forget it. Put it up there. If it doesn't sell over Christmas, just leave it up. I don't know why they bought it. You go after Christmas to the sales, you can get this stuff 75, 50% off.
Hey, you saying that, are we going to get in trouble by that?
What?
You can't say list it and forget it. Isn't that a trademark phase? That Ronco guy said it and forget it.
Well, see, I said list it and forget it.
Oh.
He says, that phrase that you're going to get sued over, that was not me saying that phrase that's been trademarked by Ron Ropil.
Ron Propil, that's
Propil, Is he still with us?
I don't know, but man, I sure watched a lot of his shows.
You know who I liked was Jack LaLanne. You remember Jack LaLanne with his juicer?
Yes, Jack LaLanne.
He was like 300 years old and drinking his juice every day. And
fun fact.
Okay.
One of my favorite, wow, we just sold another item.
Yeah, you are busy. You're busy as a fruit merchant.
That's right, all right. Yeah, an accountant on April 14th.
Oh, there you go.
Fun fact, you remember the Pitchman show? Remember that?
Vaguely.
Remember our boy yelled, the guy with the beard that yelled all the time?
Was it Billy?
Yeah, it's Billy Mays.
Billy Mays.
Billy Mays and Anthony Sullivan. I dressed up as Billy Mays one year for Halloween.
You got that look about you.
I do have that look.
Here's the thing, man. You're like our... there's the vintage sales, like my T-shirts we just talked about.
Yes.
You're like the vintage memory guy.
Sure.
You bring back the Billy Mays guy. A couple weeks ago, you're talking Eye of Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
We did have a college football sign with Billy Mays on it.
Yeah, you're just like... there was something about you and Emron.
Oh, yeah, that's what we got some feedback.
That's what I'm saying. You're like our Throwback Thursday guy.
Yeah, Throwback Thursday. I like that.
So whatever Prumpy's up to and thinking is new and trendy is actually vintage, and you should be selling it.
That's right.
If you have any
Billy Mays
items, throw them on eBay.
I listened to that Anthony Sullivan book. That was pretty good.
So what did you learn from this Pitchman show? Or where was this leading before I interrupted you there?
That was one of those shows that, I enjoy watching things. They're educational to me, and honestly, I learned from them.
Well, it takes... they were some of the greatest salespeople around there, so you probably pick something up.
Spin mop bucket, the Oxy... Not Oxycontin's, OxyClean.
I think Oxycontin might have been why Billy's no longer with us. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he had a little habit. And get him that energized.
That's a true statement. There was a reason he was so jacked.
Maybe a little sugar boogers.
Sugar boogers.
But anyway, OxyClean, that's good. You can still get that or that stuff that you spray that seals things, and they make it for the boats that go across the ocean. Flex Seal.
Yeah, I know a guy.
That was him, right?
I know a guy that does all their swag.
You know a guy that does the swag for Flex Seal.
Exactly.
You know what you need to do with that guy?
What's that?
You need to get that swag and you sell it on eBay.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
That's an excellent idea.
You don't even have to pay me a commission for that.
Wow, I know that these Flex Seal guys, they've got a NASCAR car.
See? They probably got a little mini decal.
Ooh, speaking of that, you know what's hot? Hearing about, was it next week, I think? Vegas NASCAR.
Vegas NASCAR. I took my father-in-law and we went there once. This was...
you know more about than I do.
I'm trying to think how many years ago it's been, but yeah, we went down to Vegas. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a NASCAR guy. I know nothing about NASCAR.
Sure you don't.
He was a big NASCAR fan, so we said for Christmas we're going to take you down there. We had a great time.
Next thing here, tell me you don't know anything about Harry Potter either.
Oh, I know that makes me money.
It's
I don't know why you're so, thinking you're cool that you don't know any of this pop culture stuff that I'm making money off of.
I didn't say I'm not cool. I just say I don't have enough hours in a day. I do all my stuff on taxes right now. That's
yeah. Harry Potter NASCAR are just around in April tax season.
It's true. That's true.
Kids reading books, watching movies.
I don't know how we got derailed here.
I was telling you to sell some stuff on eBay. You were telling me that they had a little NASCAR. Then you jumped to some sort of a tirade about NASCAR, and I said I'd been to NASCAR in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's
I was telling you that story. Then you cut me off something about Harry Potter playing with your wand. I don't know what you're going for with your Gandalf beard and now you got the fire truck across the street going. It's just, folks, it's just turning into one of those nights.
It's hot.
It's hot takes.
Hot takes. Now, I remember what
I was going off of Christmas ornaments. I don't know what you're doing. What
vintage.
You got?
You were talking about vintage stuff.
Vintage. I was talking about, your pop culture references are vintage. That's where I was going.
Just got on the merry-round of DeathPile and taxes.
I was telling you, you get a Flex Seal guy to give you some swag, and you'll have an extra few $100 a month just off that.
Well, we'll see what we can do here.
Anyways, NASCAR, worth your while. At least do it once.
All right, well, maybe we'll have to get on that boat, too.
And I had a chocolate funnel cake at the NASCAR event. Never been able to find one since.
Chocolate funnel cake, huh?
A chocolate funnel cake.
That sounds...
Had some strawberries on it.
Ooh.
It was good.
That sounds enjoyable.
And by the end of the race, about halfway through, I figured out what was going on.
Okay.
And who was who.
What, they just driving in a circle?
They're driving in a circle, but it's how you drive in a circle and who's driving in a circle. And I talk a lot about wrestling and different sports. NASCAR fans are devoted.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's a guy that's a fan of the numbers 27 car that you've never heard of. Not only is he a fan, he's got the hat, he's got the shirt, he's got the family there, and they're cheering for number whoever that hasn't ever won a major nothing, but that's their guy, and they're loyal to that guy.
So, fun fact.
Well, last fun fact wasn't so fun.
Well, I doubt that.
That was Flex Seal and Billy Mays.
Hey, come on now. Do you know the guy that sells Billy Mays and Fun Seals stuff?
No.
Swag Daddy.
No, Swag Daddy. Is this your fun fact?
Fun fact. Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah.
May or may not have died on the racetrack.
I think he did. I think that's well documented.
Yeah, yes, it is. We're too young to remember when JFK passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shot and killed.
Oh, I wasn't born yet, but you're too young, yeah.
Yeah, neither was I. Anyways, when that happened,
you're like 5 at the time.
I lived in Arkansas at the time.
When JFK died, you were in Arkansas?
No, get your story straight.
I'm just trying to follow you here.
How old do you think I am?
Not 67. That's how old I think you are.
37. That might be how old I act.
Wow, you got some hard living. You've made some bad decisions in your life, buddy.
No, when Dale Earnhardt Sr. died.
Number 3.
I was in Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
And it might have well have been that JFK died. It was... Whew.
I tell you, that was everyone's favorite, and like I say, I'm not a big follower of the sport, so I don't know why. Apparently, he was a real good guy.
You know, they talk about half-mast flags.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen one before for a NASCAR driver that passed.
You did that week in Arkansas, or how long did it go on for?
You know, I don't remember. I just remember, man, who is this Dale? You know, it was crazy.
Here's a story for you.
Fun fact or story?
It's a little of both. So, you know Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Apparently, he buys shirts from Dale Earnhardt Sr. on eBay that are hard to find, and he'll pay big bucks for them.
No way.
True story. So full circle there.
Full circle. So Junior buys his dad's shirt on eBay because
there's some merchandise from like back in the day, right? And people weren't just like now. People collect everything. Back then, you'd wear it, you'd use it to work, you'd go work on the car, and so most of that stuff didn't survive.
Wow.
So there's certain items and stuff, and not just him, but there's collectors, there's fans. Like I said, these are loyal people. If you want that number 3, whatever, that's a good thing to sell. If you're ever out in a thrift store and you find some Dale Earnhardt Sr. memorabilia, I'd snag that up.
So,
whoa, 70. Oh, I thought you were 67. Maybe you're 77. The way that's going on now. Take a swig of dew, man. Come back to us. You all right?
wow.
This about became the DeathPiles and I Killed the Guy show.
Well, that's the hard part here. One day we'll get this up on video feed.
I don't know if anyone wants to see that.
Well, I sure do.
I mean, let's get it on a few other platforms first. This man over here is dying. I mean, if I do CPR or something, maybe I should go across the street and get the fire engine over here. I don't know what's going on, and I'm a little scared. I don't want to make this call to your wife, and I don't want to tell my wife, pack the bags, we're going to Tijuana.
See, the problem is you'd have video footage, or I guess recorded footage, that you killed me by your bad jokes.
Nobody's ever heard this. It wouldn't be posted.
Well, it will be now.
There'll be evidence against me at some point. My bad jokes, you can't talk because you're laughing so hard. You have to take a little break, and I'm trying to carry this over, but I'm the one telling the bad jokes, and you can't even come up with a word because you're laughing so much.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
They're good jokes.
They're excellent jokes.
Thank you. The pleasure was yours.
The pleasure was all mine.
Tip your waitress.
Where are we going next with this?
Okay, so we're Dale Earnhardt Jr. I was telling you about how selling these Christmas ornaments, right? Superman was the ornament. I'll give that one out. It was a Superman Christmas ornament. Somebody bought it today. Anything sells. That was kind of where I was going with that. Keep it up. That's why this good till canceled and stuff that we talked about the last episode. Just, you never know. Just, I mean, put it up there. Christmas year round. People collect things. Also, here's a funny story for you. So I'm listing some things this week. And when you put in a title and stuff with eBay, they kind of give you a category, but they kind of try to guess what your category is. So, are you familiar with Slayer?
Like Tax Slayer?
No, like the metal band
Oh,
Slayer.
yeah, heck yeah, no Slayer.
So it was like a heavy metal band. I don't know if they're still around, but 90s and 80s they were big.
They're around.
So it had 3 skulls, and it had like swords going through skulls, and it said Slayer, and like had a pendulum or something. It looked like it was from the devil himself. eBay says, is this a kid's shirt, size small?
What?
I'm like, your algorithm missed the mark on that one, buddy. So that one I found a little humorous. Just when you're watching, when you're putting your stuff up for sale, you might want to look at what category they put you in and make sure that you're in the right thing. Because guaranteed, if that went into kids' clothing, it's not going to sell anytime soon. Because, you know, first off, it's a man's size, whatever T-shirt. So you're not going to buy that for your kid. Second off, it looks like Lucifer himself just handed it over. So probably not going to put that on your kid. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. So that was that fun story for you. What do you think about that?
I like that fun story.
My other review, I went to the new MPS store.
Ooh.
Now, a lot of people out there, I was thinking last week, they have no clue what we're talking about.
I was going to say, please fill us in on what the MPS store is.
The NPS store is, they also have an eBay store. They just get a ton of stuff. Most of it, I think, is from wreck semis, salvage type stuff. They, from what I understand, they if a semi gets in a wreck, it's totaled out. They buy it from the insurance. There's some sort of an exchange there. They get to keep the goods, and they put them on the shelf. So it's basically a treasure hunt. There's a location north of us in Salt Lake City, and there's this new location down here in Orem. You can check them out on eBay. I don't know how they decide what's going where, but there's just tons of items. It's like a scavenger hunt, and some prices are real high, some are real low, so you got to do some digging and stuff. It's almost like a thrift store full of new items, and some of those new items have been in wrecks, and some of them are just, you know, perfect condition. So
I don't they call it old new stock?
Old new stock? It's not really old, though.
Okay.
I mean, some stuff might be, but you can find brand new items that are like way underpriced, and then you can find some items that are way overpriced. But I picked up quite a few things. That's actually where that Slayer t-shirt came from. They had a bunch of Hot Topic t-shirts that were a lot of these bands. So It had the price tag still on from there that were like $20. I picked them all up for $4.99, I believe. Sometimes they'll have different discounts. I bought a 24 pack of Coca-Cola, the bottles.
Yeah.
For, what was it? $4.99, something like that for the 24 pack. Came out to like a quarter or something a bottle.
That's
you buy that from your vending machine, you're $1.50 all day long.
I like the Mexican Coke.
Oh, that's good stuff. The real sugar?
Yeah, the real sugar.
I mean, they might have it there. You gotta go digging.
I had to give that up when I got the beaties.
But you beat the beaties.
True story.
Why don't you tell us about that?
I did beat the beaties.
How did you beat the beaties?
We always talk about this, that, let's be honest, most of our friend group is usually large and in charge.
I'm going to lie. I'm not going to be honest about that at all. We're slender, good-looking fellas.
Oh, yeah. Okay, anyways. We always talk about eating way too much, drinking way too much soda pop, and I got the beaties, man. I caught it like a cold. 3 months I didn't have it. I go to the emergency room, and the guy says, "You got the beaties."
You caught it like the cold. They were just passing around an old tissue, and you caught diabetes from it.
True story,
You're going to sit here and tell me that you just caught it like the common flu.
So I know there's going to be some people on here that understand what diabetes are.
Yeah.
It goes off your A1C number.
Sure.
Okay, it goes off your number, and 3 months prior, my number was absolutely normal. Went in for a checkup, everything was good. 3 months later, I had an 8.1.
Were you just like streamlining sugar, or what were you doing?
At the time, I may or may not have been throwing down some salty, sweet beverages.
Salty and sweet. Were you putting salt in your Mexican Coke?
If I liked it.
Salt and lime? What were you doing?
Yes.
Tortilla chips as a straw?
Several times. So anyways, I caught the beaties, man. 3 months before, I didn't have it, and then I had it.
Wow. And as you sit here today?
Well, I wasn't going to take the metformin they wanted to put me on.
So you free and clear?
I'm free and clear. You know what? 6 months later, I was absolutely a 4.7.
I mean, we don't need to get into your whole HIPAA violations here about what you are or aren't on. I don't know.
You can't have HIPAA violations against yourself.
No, I'd sue myself and I'd win.
I bet you would.
So you beat the beaties.
I started drinking apple cider vinegars with the mother in it.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
I just did.
Here's the thing. I was over at the Walmart Supercenter.
I know. You saw it.
Now, was that the same thing? Their version of the mother?
No. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. They used to only be on these specialty stores, but there was this guy who put this thing on a blog post that he beat the beaties by drinking apple cider.
Was it this guy named Adam Beasley at Adam Up County?
Hey, no, you don't need to give me any credit. If you want to go to my website... www. You can check out my article that I may or may not have posted. And you can search for it.
Oh, well, I haven't seen this article.
It's because it's fictional, and thanks for ruining it for everybody.
I never said it was fictional.
Well, I just did.
You ruined it for everybody. It wasn't me, Bob. Pal.
There's a reason.
I mean, this is a tax and eBay podcast, and we're talking about your diabetes. If anyone's ruined anything for anybody.
Hey, this is better than the eBays. This could save someone's life.
I hope it does, honestly. I'm glad it saved I'm glad you don't have the beaties.
I beat the beaties, man. Started drinking apple cider vinegar every single day. 6 months later, didn't have it.
So what's the mother? What is the mother?
It's some certain, back to your organic thing, it's really good apple cider vinegar. Because I tried the Walmart brand. It just didn't work.
What about the Walmart with the mother?
It didn't happen. It had to be the Bragg's with the mother in it.
Well, here's the thing. You can probably buy that on eBay.
I'm sure that you could.
You probably sell it on eBay.
The best part is when you start seeing those products on end caps at Walmart, you know what? It means people need it.
It means it's moving.
It means it's a moving item.
Funny you should say this. So you remember our friend Jimmy McKnight?
Oh, James Benson.
I think he's Jimmy Mack in the official followers.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I'm supposed to use their government names. If you don't want me to use your name, you best text me, and you best text me quick, because I'm going to get in story time in these upcoming episodes. And where we're going today, we're already derailed, and I'm just going to throw out names.
I know where you're going with this. You posted some cool stuff.
Well, he sends me over this thing about this couple that went to Trader Joe's.
Okay.
And they bought, have you seen the everything seasoning for your, everything bagel seasoning, but you put on other stuff?
Yes.
They made $30,000 a year just reselling that.
Wow.
And they kind of went into the retail arbitrage world, as it's called, the RA for the smart people out there.
Ooh, I like that.
So, yeah, they go to the Trader Joe's. I mean, we just had a new one open. A lot of places don't have them or can't get to them. They'd buy the seasoning, everything bagel, and then I'm sure they ventured in other things, but $30K.
And bagel seasoning.
And bagel seasoning.
It's
I put that
amazing.
stuff on my eggs and avocados.
I've never had that.
You need to go buy it, but don't buy it from eBay. You just go to the store and buy it because these people are making money.
So if I understand right, anybody the bagel seasoning to put on my kiwis, right?
No, you don't want those flavors. Don't mix, my friend. Now, if you want good fruit that the bagel seasoning would go with, you'd want something a little more mild. What is a mild fruit? Let's see, maybe a
pear?
Would be some sort of... No, pear's a little sweet. Honeydew melon, maybe. Just the right time of year. But you'd want to stay away from fruit with your everything seasonings.
You sound like a melon connoisseur.
I love melons. Cantaloupes. Honeydews. Green River.
Watermelon?
Watermelons.
It's the best time of year here.
Yeah, when those melons get flowing. And the good thing for you is they're full of fiber and water, so they're actually good for you, and they taste like candy.
And that's what my doctor told me. Stop eating so much candy and start eating fruit.
Start eating fruit. Man, we got sirens going off. Oh, I thought that was a siren. Now I'm seeing things.
Well, it's because your blood pressure's too high.
I'm eating too much fruit. Probably got too much sugar going into me.
Yes, sir. Get us back on track, D-Roy.
Anyway, so Trader Joe's, right? So how many stores around here, this is what I'm thinking, can you go in and find a specialty item and sell on the internet and make you $30,000 a year?
You know, I'm sure like you looked, and you were telling us about this on our special edition podcast.
Yeah.
I can get that terabyte thing that you're telling me about.
Terapeak.
Yeah, Terapeak, terabyte, whatever. Get that special app, and I can see what's trending, right?
Yeah, in theory, but what you want to do is you want to be the one that finds it before it's trending.
Well, I can see what's hot, or I can understand, hey, I can see a couple of these on the market, and
yeah.
You know what? I know there's a high demand for it because it's on the end cap somewhere, and you go buy all the clearance items, and there you go.
I mean, I know a lot of people do IKEA stuff because not everyone has IKEAs, Pottery Barns. There's a lot of places that you think, oh, these are everywhere. They're big shops, Trader Joe's, and they have these specialty items that people like. Well, smaller places around the nation, around the world, people move there. They want this item. You can't just go and buy it. They have to go on like vacations and buy suitcases worth of stuff.
And you got to be smart. I remember we were talking about our Shopco that's getting ready to close.
Yeah.
They throw up these stickers.
Oh, yeah.
That say 70% off.
Did you see? I bet you're saying the same thing I saw. Go ahead and tell it.
Oh, yeah. I saw this video or something of this guy saying, look, it's 70% off of $59.99 and the price is $24.99.
Yeah, that's more than what it cost originally. It was, I saw like a what was it, mattress set or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And it was like originally, I don't even know if it was that because those are little. It was something really cheap.
Yeah.
And it was like originally $79 and 75% off, so it's like, yeah, $30, and it's like, I wouldn't pay $12 for that.
And you peeled off the sticker and it was like originally $12.
Like, there's a reason you guys are going out of business.
Yes.
And this is probably it.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, be careful. That's the thing. Do your research, right? I've told you on here how to look it up now. If you get Terapeak, look it up on there. Get your data. Know what it's selling for. Go find you something like a Trader Joe's or somewhere where you live. There's probably a specialty shop, whether that's like making fishing supplies, making some special seasoning salt, something that your city or area might be known for, that somebody comes there on vacation and they really like that item. They can't just go out and buy it. You know, they don't have the shop or whatever near them. Sell it online. Make you $30,000. These people, I don't remember what they paid off. Pull up the article. But, yeah, Jimmy sent that over to me. I thought that was really interesting.
I like that. That's good information.
Also, so here's another. So, I'm getting ready to cut the cord. I'm going to become a cord cutter.
A cord cutter, huh?
I'm done with the TV.
Done with cable.
Done with cable.
Well,
I'm going to try my bill.
Where you been, man?
My bill.
I've been done with cable for 18 months.
My bill just jumped.
It's because
crazy. Football season's over.
You probably still have a landline.
Football season's over. No, that's where this is going. So, the internet company I had got bought out by another internet company.
Okay.
And I've just, me set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Had a good price. Haven't followed up. Haven't checked. Everything's worked fine. Just don't be the squeaky wheel. Don't bang the cage. So I decide, well, if I'm going to be streaming my TV, get one of those services, I'm going to be using a lot of data.
Yes. So
I need to know how much data I'm using.
Okay.
So I call up my internet service provider and say, hey, this is the situation. Just wondering how much data I get a month, basically, and where my cap is, what I need to be looking at. If I go over, is this going to cost me a lot of money? Do I need to upgrade? And the girl on the line says, "Okay, Mr. Everett, let me look you up." Types away. That's me typing. And then she kind of goes, "You live in Santa?" Yeah, okay. The town I live in, because I don't want you guys coming and stalking me, because I live up there, I imagine, on the hill. Then she goes, this is strange. Which I'm, okay, well, you can't look at my history, woman. I don't know what could be strange with me and the internet, right? So I'm like, well,
when you throw off eBay's algorithm, there's something strange with
when
it.
eBay's telling me, I'm selling a Slayer shirt to kids, I don't know. I'm like, well, what's strange, ma'am? Or what, I'm on my lunch break. Is this going to take a while? We don't show you as, they're not monitoring your data, so we haven't been tracking anything. Now, that point right there.
Hang the phone up.
I want to hang the phone up and be like, we're done. We're done. But I thought, no, she'll follow up on that. He hung up the phone. So I said, well, thank you, ma'am. When you guys bought that service, I had unlimited data from the previous provider, just making sure that was still the case. Thank you. Okay, thanks, sir. Have a good day. Bye. Couldn't hang up fast enough. So you're looking at the eBay Internet Wizard. I can, watch movies, TV round the clock. Apparently, I'm not being monitored. Or I wasn't.
That's a good thing, man.
That's great. Isn't that like the best news that you've ever heard?
I know this trade isn't, I can't remember, trademarked.
Trademark?
Yeah, you could say something and you can get in trouble if you say it without giving the credit due.
No, I'm not going to tell you company names and have people come back and charge me money.
I'm just telling you what happens for you, because apparently magic happens when you're living right.
Well, when you're living the way I live, you look the way I look, people do things for you. They make exceptions for you. The internet companies say, we're not going to charge that guy. He's selling so much on eBay. He's out there promoting us. He's so good looking. Him and his wife come into town, and they give us the benefit of seeing them around. And they think, what can we do? We're not going to even monitor this guy's internet. I hope he just streams all sorts of movies, all sorts of games, all sorts of just things that take up a lot of data, which I don't know what that is. And thank you very much for being our customer, sir. That's what they think about me.
Wow.
Apparently.
You are, like I said, when you're living right, magic happens, man.
I mean...
Got that magic coin in your pocket, Mr. Austin Colley?
I'm not familiar with that name.
I'm sure that you're not.
So, unlimited data. So what's going on in the tax world? I feel like I'm just taking eBay.
That's the good part, man, because it means people are selling on the eBay.
I know. I've been selling this week. It's been a good week.
We like when you sell because, like I said, every time we talk about it, no matter what's going to happen. It was funny. I had somebody in here earlier this week, and I says, you know what the best thing about this job?
And they said that you get to sit in this office and meet with people like us.
Of course. I get to see your happy face next year.
That's true.
And the year after.
You got building clientele.
And the year after. And the year after.
Why is that?
Because no matter what, you're going to have to file your taxes. I don't care if the government thinks they're simplifying it or making it easier. That's not going away, my friend.
So you say that you're into job security for quite some time?
I kind of dug this thing. I'm in this career that I'll have the rest of my life if I choose to.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing. You can be the king of your own castle.
I definitely agree. And the best part right now is?
What?
We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay, let's take a break for Adam Up Accounting.
There we go. Let's hit Adam Up Accounting. Like I said, you can go on our website, check us out. That'd be the name Adam, the word up, and accounting.
And what do they need to tell you when they get there?
They just can go right in there, right-hand corner, get a little chat box.
Okay.
They can go chat us up, ask any questions. We'd be happy to call you. Kind of let you know what to do with the online selling portion of your life.
So when they chat with you, you mean they're going to chat with this girl that's taking the phone call of the internet provider that doesn't know what's going on, right?
That is a false statement.
Who are they going to be talking to?
It comes right into my little box, and I will get right back with you.
And if you heard it on the podcast, make sure to mention it and squeeze him to give you a big discount.
That's right. We'll see what we can do for you.
Or free coasters.
That's right. Thank you very much. All right, I think we're back now. Yeah, we are.
We are. I hope those guys pay their bills this week. The Adam Up Accounting.
We're paying the bills. We're still learning how to use this fancy new equipment.
I know we sound probably like $1 million. I know we look like it.
I hope so. Last week I was struggling, but I think we're getting to figure it out today.
There. I mean, short slowly but surely? Is that the phrase?
I mean, we've been doing this for over a month now.
Hey, let me hit you up with a question.
All right, hit me with one.
So it's no surprise or no, I'm not hiding it from anyone. Our name of our show is Death Piles and Taxes.
That's a true statement.
I got the name Death Piles from the Scavenger Life podcast.
I love
listened to a lot. We're out there in the community. Actually hit them up before we took the name and said, hey, is this cool if we use the name Death Piles? Because they kind of coined it. So I didn't want to be stepping all over and stealing their stuff.
Good idea. What'd they tell you?
I said, go for it, buddy, and let us know. We'll listen to the podcast.
Awesome.
They're really cool guys. Well, man and wife.
I
guess guys. I call everyone guys. But this week in the podcast, they were talking a little bit about taxes and what have you. And the topic of depreciation came up.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
you know, they can't say nothing because they're not an accountant, right? So they can say what they think. They can say what they do. Now I'm talking to the man.
Sit back, man. This is my wheelhouse.
Let's say I have a warehouse. Let's say I have a building. Let's say I have a room. What's depreciation and how's that work for somebody like me?
You know what the best part about accounting is?
I don't.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see how you answer it, all right?
Okay.
What's 1 plus 1?
It was 2 last time I checked, but now with Common Core, I am not sure.
That's a true statement. Do you know what you tell me when I ask you that question? What's 1 plus 1? My answer is whatever you want it to be.
Explain.
It's called depreciation.
Okay.
I can make your stuff be whatever you want based on depreciation. The whole idea behind that is you can buy items and you can write them off. Mm-hmm. But you can decide how much you want to write them off. So, for instance, let's keep math simple here because we don't like adding on the air. I do, at least.
You know me.
Let's just say that you brought in $200,000 and you made $100,000.
Sure.
And at that point, we'll get into some other discussions about being an S corporation, not a sole proprietorship, but that's another episode. Anyways, as depreciation, you can say, well, you know what? I need this large item for my warehouse. I need a forklift because you guys selling so much stuff. Mm-hmm. You buy said forklift for $20,000. You know what I can do with that?
Tell me, buddy.
I can say, well, we're going to depreciate it over a certain time period, and we get to pick the time period and the amount that we want to depreciate.
So you still get the tax write-off for the forklift.
Sure.
You just take it over 8 years, 2 years, whatever you decide.
Or 1 year.
So let's say I build a shed in my backyard that I'm going to store my stuff in.
Okay.
Does that depreciate?
You're getting into a sticky area. There's lots and lots of
here's the thing. Lots of people like me live at home and work out of either a home office or that kind of a thing. So we don't go to a set location.
You're better to, like I said, buy a shed from Costco or buy one of those nice sheds from Home Depot or, like I said, build one yourself there and write that off. Then the whole thing. I mean, there's a funny little thing about increasing your property's value, but as long as it's tangible, not tangible, basically there's a lot to it.
So basically it's not just something we can answer in a half hour left in the podcast.
No, we can, but the idea is if you buy it, we can decide, going back to that magic number. I mean, you'd say, well, if I have $100,000 and I have a $20,000 item that I bought, your bottom line would be $80,000.
Okay.
That's not true. I can make it be whatever you want it to be. I can make it be $95,000, $90,000. I can do whatever we want with that number.
And keep me out of jail.
Yes. I told you I'm not going to let you go back.
So, if they have questions like this, they should come and talk with.
They can go to the website, hit the little chat button, and we'll get right with them.
Man, I'm going to have to dig up some mug shots of who in this group has been and has not been arrested.
I've never been arrested.
Okay, well, if that's your story.
Those mugshots were not ever uploaded.
Are you saying doctored footage or
fake news?
Conspiracy theory? Yeah, fake news.
So depreciation, like it says, it's when you buy items that are more than $2,500 that are not inventory items. There's several things. Vehicles is a good question, okay? Everybody thinks, well, I'm going to buy this truck or whatever vehicle for my business. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, it's not a good idea. The reason is you get mileage. The government pays you mileage for every mile you drive.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you're going to drive more than what you would when you have your vehicle, your actual cost, and depreciating a nice truck. So there's a lot of things to go into, and it's really worth your time and effort to talk to a tax professional.
So go find you an accountant. You gotta write that off.
Yeah.
Have you depreciated for me yet?
No, because we don't depreciate for you yet.
Yet? Okay.
Well, you're being really smart. I mean, you're not going out and renting a big warehouse or buying warehouse space. I mean,
no, but the way my house looks some days, I wish I need to do something. I got that back room, my eBay-in room.
I've told you I could come help you. Guess what? I got space downstairs. You can rent that out for me.
Hey, speaking about space downstairs and helping you, I'm following up. You had some ties last episode. You had some Camel Joe's vest.
Joe Camel vest.
What happened with that stuff?
Sitting in the closet.
Oh, man.
I'm usually 2 weeks. I felt good about myself because I brought it in, but unfortunately I didn't do anything about it.
Hey, it's a process.
I've got it. I want to get it up. Like I said, my goal is I got to sell some stuff by the end of the year, man.
See, the funny thing is, like we were talking about, we have a bunch of our friends, family listening to us, right? They're listening to the podcast. We got 100 and some odd people downloads.
156.
And a lot of these people don't sell things.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
We've given them plenty of hot tips. I guess I need to get on there. I'll be our test dummy.
Okay.
I know that term's used loosely because I'm not a dummy.
Well, this is your show.
I think it's our show.
It's our show.
And I'd be the secondary because taxes come after DeathPile.
Well, you got to sell stuff to pay stuff.
That's a good point.
The good part about not making any money is you don't pay taxes. That's the only way.
Actually, yeah. If you make a certain right amount of money, the government will give you a lot of money.
You got to be in that sweet zone.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You don't want to be in that sweet zone. Nobody wants to be poor.
No, it's not cool to be poor just so you can get money from the government to be poor again next year.
It's not. Go out and sell some stuff. Go out and sell $30,000 of bagel sprinkles.
And if you're one of our, no kidding, go to Trader Joe's and load up, find you something. But if you're one of these people that are listening, like if you're not selling, start, or if you know somebody that's interested, turn them our way. Tell them to follow the podcast. Tell them to listen to us, right?
It's funny when you bring up that you talk about selling stuff online. Everybody perks up their ears.
Well, because everyone thinks I could do that.
Yeah.
And then they think I don't know if I want to do that, or they think, what are you selling?
New follower, new guy I just talked to. I found out through a mutual friend that he sells stuff online now.
Oh, yeah?
So I talked to him today. I said, well, what are you selling? He said, it's stuff from my mom's house, just different items.
Well, everyone's got that relative, whether it's your mom, your cousin, whatever, that's got stuff. They've just kept stuff. And you go and, make a deal with them. Say, hey, let me try this out. I'm listening to this podcast. I'll split it with you, whatever. Go in. You'd be amazed at what you can find.
I know one thing that a lot of people have, an issue with is when your mom or your dad pass away or grandma. Mm-hmm. You usually all go there and you divvy up stuff.
Oh, well, I write my name under everything at my parents' house for this very reason. And then I say, well, Dad clearly wants me to have... Well, I planned this out.
Hold on. Please tell me there's your name under an item at your parents' house right now.
Oh, several. And that way, when, the unfortunate thing happens, and we're there to divvy up, Dad obviously wanted me to eat this. It's my name.
So Denny's okay with this?
I'm not saying Denny does or doesn't know, but he will not be there at the time it is divvied up, and I'll have the item.
Hypothetically, I want to hear about one of these items. I love examples.
Well, Denny's a fine collector of things.
Yes,
and he has all sorts of treasures.
Yes,
he has a voodoo doll that he brought back from New Orleans once.
A voodoo doll.
Yes.
And your name is underneath it.
Well, I had to tape because it's kind of like a solid thing. You couldn't write it because it wouldn't show up with the Sharpie. So I got me some white sticker material, and I just wrote my name and just put it on the bottom.
So let's take that to the new level, because what's going to happen is when Mom and Dad do pass away, already called dibs.
I call dibs. No, it's even better. You're just like, well, let's see what's this. Oh. Well, why is my name on the bottom of the TV? What's that mean? I guess Dad, bless his heart, was thinking about this, didn't want us to fight, and I'm supposed to have the flat screen. Hey, what's? Oh, well, this is where he kept all the money. That's my name. What's it doing? Well, it's his wishes.
You know, Aaron, Dad really wanted me to have that voodoo doll.
I don't know how else my name got there.
The thing is I know without a shadow of a doubt this is not the first time people that are listening to this have had this conversation.
Well, let's go back to the original point, because my family listens, and I don't want them going and taking my name off a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So I need to still get some sweet inheritance.
That's a hypothetical.
So you're telling me that people pass away and they have all sorts of stuff?
Yes, and you want to find out. I mean, it all depends on what you want to do, because a lot of stuff have real emotional value. I get that. Mm-hmm. But you know what's happening? It's stuff.
Well, I've had this conversation. Sometimes people think I'm just a heartless jerk.
You are.
And, I mean, there are. I have items from my grandpa that mean a lot to me, but to somebody, they're not worth anything, right?
Agreed.
And you don't need, like, a house full of these items, but a few things that remind you of whatever from a loved one, a parent, a friend, whoever's passed away. I get it. But a lot of these items are going to end up in the, thrift store, in the junkyard, just thrown away, or you're going to die with all this stuff in your house, and then the next generation's going to have to go through it.
That's just an absolute truth. And
so, yeah, I've said that to people. I've said, you know what's going to happen when you pass away, right? Somebody like me is going to come to your estate sale and buy all this stuff because your kids don't want to deal with it. I'm going to go sell it on the internet, and I'm going to make the money off of it. The kids are going to sell it for next to nothing just to get rid of it. They don't know what it is. They don't have the value of a lot of it. And you're going to make somebody like me rich. Just make yourself rich.
It's funny that you say that, because I enjoy those picker shows. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
It's always funny because obviously they're staged. It's a show. Like,
yeah,
I get it.
Show.
But every one of them, like, you're going into massive homes, barns, warehouses full of stuff, and they walk out with like 7 items.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's got the value, right?
And what's going to happen with all that other crap?
It's that's the thing. Somebody's going to come in with a shovel or a backhoe, and they're just going to clear the lots, and the kids are going to subdivide it, and they're going to retire off that money. Well, the kids want the money. Unfortunately or fortunately, that's just the way it is. Your items mean a lot more to you than they do to other people most of the time. Now, like I'm saying, there's a few items that you reminisce about and you see, and that's special to you, or it's special to the kid, and maybe ask them that. I don't know how you want to do it, but that's getting into planning, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, if Danny wants me to have something, or if there's something special to me, when that time comes, I'm sure it's just going to be a talk. But like you say, the whole wardrobe, the cooking utensils, all this kind of stuff, stuff that people collect. We all have those people that just collect things. You've seen the hoarder shows. I mean, a lot of this stuff just goes, and it just sits there, and then it gets thrown away. So it's not really going to do what you think it's going to do, and it probably doesn't have the value that you've perceived it to have.
Well, I totally agree with that. There's so many things that your parents hold on to, and talk to them. Go talk to your grandparents. Find out what they did, and find out what those items are, because just like you said, when you have those stories, that's what makes it.
Well, even worse. Okay, so I say most of this stuff's going to end up at the landfill or thrift shops.
Sure.
What happens to that item that you don't know that Grandpa has? I follow a lot of this stuff on, I'm always looking reselling stuff. A man down in Las Vegas had a Babe Ruth baseball card at his shop that he thought was a replica.
Okay.
A guy comes in and buys said card and pays like $10 or something. Turns out this thing is real, and it's like, there's like 3 of them in existence or something like that. So it's worth multiple millions worth of dollars.
And that's because Dad collected baseball cards and didn't know it was in there.
Yeah, it's like Grandpa had them. Baseball cards aren't worth nothing. Went and probably pawned them off or gave them to this shop guy. Got, maybe $100. Guy divvying them out and thinks, well, obviously this is a replica because no one would have this card because it's so rare. Sells it, and the guy that bought it actually is a collector and said he's going to share the proceeds if he ever sells it with the guy that sold it to him, which is cool.
So it sounds like we're doing some family counseling here.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Find out what they have, and if it's of value, okay, keep it, sell it, at least you know. But I'm sure there's things that get sold and donated all day, every day that you have no clue the value of. And the things that you keep are the worthless junk, shiny trinkets.
Let's be honest, a lot of the things that people buy and sell, they're emotional.
Well, it's an emotional time.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, no one wants to lose a loved one.
But let's be honest too. I mean, not getting into that, but items that are purchased and sold. I mean, a lot of the things that you're selling online have an emotional tie.
Yeah.
I mean, why would some normal, sane human being buy a, Rowdy Roddy Piper shirt for $300.
Well, because they saw WrestleMania 2.
Well, and they saw WrestleMania 2 with either their best friend or their dad, and they remember it just like it was yesterday.
I mean, you're kind of going light on Rowdy Piper here. I mean, Ronda Rousey, you've heard of her?
I have.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey now?
Sure.
Same thing.
Well, it's like, just like watching, buying...
I got my wrestling talk in.
That's right. Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas things, Sports Illustrated. You remember where you were at. And I think that's what people want to buy, is they're buying memories.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I was kind of giving you a hard time there, but it's like you remember watching Super Bowl, whatever, with your dad.
Oh, absolutely.
And that T-shirt means something to you because that's the memory attached to it, or that mug. Yeah. Or you went on that trip to Oregon with the family and you had a good time on the beach. Well, now that Starbucks mug from Oregon is worth that to you because you associate it with memory. The price doesn't really matter.
Whatever, I think it's Super Bowl 24. San Francisco played the Denver Broncos 55-10. I was an 8-year-old kid. It was like the first time I got to hang out with my dad and his brothers on Super Bowl.
So now, I mean, you don't even care about either of those teams, but that Super Bowl has a special meaning to you.
Well, I was a big Steve Young fan.
Okay, so you do care about one of those teams.
Yeah, it was fun as a kid.
Yeah, but
like I said, that's a memory that I have, and yeah, absolutely. If there was an item that came up, I'd remember about it.
And you might buy it, you might not.
I guess that's your reasoning for spending $400 on a T-shirt.
Hey, did you see, so I shot you over something about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar since we're coming on the sports talk.
I did see that.
Now, someday I'm going to get into my Jerry Sloan, but that's going to be its own show.
Man,
that Jerry Sloan might be a 2-part episode. It's quite a bit of stuff to unload to these people.
Just a nice little tidbit. He has an original Western Union telegraph message.
And we'll read that day, whenever that happens.
That's a good one, man.
And it's going to come up, but it's going to be special. That's going to be another special episode of DeathPiles in Texas, the Jerry Sloan episode.
Jerry Sloan edition.
So this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, did you look at any of that?
Oh, before we jump into that, we got to get into your Karl Malone jersey, too.
Oh, we'll get the same episode.
Oh,
we'll get into it, but it's too much for now.
The backstory on those things.
That's going to be coming up. That's the reason. Get your friends. Maybe once we hit a certain number of listeners.
What do we say? We'll hit it. When we hit 1,000 downloads, can we get it?
I don't know. Maybe some Twitter followers. Next week, let me think this over. I'll come up with a goal for us.
Okay.
I don't want to throw out any number right now that I'm committed to.
All right.
But we'll get to that certain number and we'll have this episode. Maybe we'll do a whole special episode, a bonus episode for the people.
Ooh, bonus episode.
So we'll do our regular and I'll just do the Jerry Sloan episode.
Well, in the meantime, you give me some of that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goodness.
Well, so it's funny. Things pop up in my algorithms. Facebook doesn't know if I'm a 90-year-old woman, if I'm a 60-year-old male, if I'm a teenager, because the things I'm looking up and searching for cell groups and things, it just throws them all off.
It does.
But one of the things that I am in is these sell things come up and these auction sites come up. Well, apparently Cream is he's getting rid of his stuff.
Okay.
And his kids didn't write their names on it, I guess.
Okay.
So I don't know if he needs money or if he's just getting rid of possessions. Maybe he's having that little come to, he's Allah moment, I guess it would be, because he's Muslim.
He's Muslim.
It's not come to Jesus, it's come to Allah, I'm guessing. And he's going to get rid of his stuff. And so I see this auction come up, and this kind of, without doing the Jerry Sloan story, this is how I got into the Jerry Sloan stuff. So I thought, man, if I can get in here and get some of these items, because it's a one-of-a-kind.
Yeah.
And he's the all-time leading scorer of NBA history, right?
Yes, he is.
So I linked you in it. There are tons of, championship rings, played in uniforms, all-star uniforms, trophies, what have you. They're all priced sky high. People have been into this, so we're talking multiple thousands of dollars. So unless it was something I wanted for my own private collection, I'm probably not going to go near it. But if you are a big Lakers fan, if you're a big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan, go look this up. I mean, I'd probably just Google Kareem Abdul auction. I don't know on Facebook if you can track it down. But it was cool. Did you go through any of it? See any of it?
I did see that. And like I said, you got to find that diamond in the rough. And that's the hard part is once you get publicity, guess what happens?
You get the eyeballs. And that shows you, it's a popular team and it's a popular guy. To buy a championship ring, how often does that come around?
Not Not that often.
And even if it's not somebody you like or a team you like, that's still a really cool opportunity. So
I mean, as we get more further and further into this, I mean, guys our age, older, women, I mean, they've got stuff. Stuff's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. It's memories. I mean,
well, that's why we build stuff, so that we can put our stuff in that stuff
yeah.
that we build for our stuff.
Yeah, okay, sure, stuff and stuff. There's a reason other places live like minimalists. You know, their lives are simpler, but we're not there.
No, we're not there. The country's not there. And for people like me, that's a good thing because people want stuff. I got stuff. I'll sell you stuff. And then I'll go buy that stuff back when you're done with it, and I'll sell it to somebody else.
I know we never get into politics.
Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Well, taxes. We can get into taxes.
We'll get into taxes, politics, religion, and people's children.
Okay.
Is that what you stay away from?
Sure, that's what I tried to.
Yeah, well, you should try, or you'll be back to jail.
I'm not talking.
See what I did there?
I'm talking about politics and come to all the moments that you just brought up.
I just, I respect cream.
Sure you do. Taxes. Everybody's taxes are going down.
Well, I haven't done mine yet.
Well, I know, but they're going down. Well, 90% of people taxes are going down, and the liability they had. But it's called Trumponomics.
Who?
Trumponomics, not Reaganomics, Trumponomics.
No, you're going to lose me here.
Well, I'm just, whatever you want to call it, we'll call it the tax reform, okay?
Okay.
Their idea is that more people get more money back or they pay less in taxes so that they'll go out and spend money on items on, for instance, eBay.
Hey, I remember when George Bush sent me money in the mail. You remember that?
I do remember that.
We need more of that. More mail money.
Well, that's what's happening is people are getting more money, which in the hopes of people will spend more money. Just like you're saying, is that's the whole gist of this is trying to adjust it so that more people can receive, those memories.
Hey, buy you some memories. Take your kids on a trip. Give the kids a memory.
That's what we're working on.
Pay for it from eBay.
That's exactly what.
That's what people are doing. I mean, that's really why people are selling online. They want that fright. Have you heard of the FIRE movement? Mm-hmm. This is a whole other episode too.
I've now heard
Financial independence, retirement early.
Wow.
Or retire early.
Wow.
FIRE. People. That's what the millennials, these younger kids, they've seen their parents struggle and be able to retire when they're in their 60s, 70s, and what can they do? They're beat up. They're not traveling around. They're not doing anything. They've worked their whole life to sit at home and do nothing.
I like that.
So a lot of these people are taking on, e-commerce jobs. It's the whole gig economy. I'm sure we can get into all this stuff. But what they're trying to do is get to that point where, okay, I don't have to work. I can. Or the early retirement. So.
You are so up on this stuff.
Yeah, I tell you, man. It's, and we've talked about stuff like that. You got the same amount of hours in the day as anyone else, so you can put as much information in as you can handle, or you can sit and watch Cartoon Network, SpongeBob. I mean, I don't know. I find this other stuff fascinating.
Well, it definitely is, and I'm happy to be a part of it because every time I listen, I get some knowledge.
Hey, do we got time for one more story?
We do have time for one more story.
Well, let me hit you up on this one. So again, Clark Howard. I listen to Clark Howard. He's my man.
Yes, he is.
He gets phone calls from all across the nation. He kind of gives your financial tips, whatever.
I need a Clark Howard impersonation.
Oh, man. He wouldn't even like it. He's very...
Come on now.
No, I can't. He's like kind of got a nerdier voice, and he's dull, but he's a genius. And he's the first one to say that he's a dull.
This is Clark Howard.
Clark Howard, your money working for you. Retirement. Don't get ripped off. I'm Clark Howard. He has a higher voice than that, too.
This is Clark Howard.
It's Clark Howard. I tell you what, I want to go meet Clark Howard someday. That's on my list because the man has changed my life to from where I was to now. I have retirement accounts. I have things paid off. I got a small business going. A lot of it due to Clark Howard.
You own wrestling stock.
Yeah, I do.
You know what? 10 years ago, whatever it was, 15 years ago, there's no way I would have said, you know what, that guy, he's going to be FIRE. Is that what you said?
FIRE. The FIRE movement.
You know what? You're going to be better off than some of the people we've hung around with for many years.
I mean, who'd have thunk it, right?
That's right.
No, I got more than just wrestling stock. I got me a Roth IRA. I got me a few mutual funds. I got some independent stocks. And I got me an eBay e-commerce business that is doing pretty good. And I have a full-time job. So, yeah.
You know what I'm thinking about this is you're talking about your boy Clark Howard. Out of all of our friends, you're probably the one who's financially set the best.
I don't know. I don't see bills.
What I mean by that is you live in a modest home. Your mortgage is getting closer and closer to being paid off.
I had a good phone call with the mortgage company the other day.
Yeah.
They wanted to know if I wanted to refi.
Okay.
They call occasionally. I always make them look up my rate because I bought when the rates were like rock bottom.
You did.
And then they kind of stutter. And like, oh, well, we can't beat this rate. I say, oh, okay, just making sure. And they got talking about some other things. I said, hey, how close am I to dropping that insurance money that you have to pay, like on your mortgage insurance?
Your PMI, yeah.
And I'm within like a few $1,000s, so we might throw some money that way and just get rid of that. So
you know what? You're living the dream, my friend.
So yeah, doing that. I have my vehicles. Everybody doesn't. I mean, I get made fun of for them, but they're paid off. And
nobody makes fun of you for your Prius.
Hey, my Prius is awesome.
You know what the best kind of car is?
Paid off car.
Paid off car. That's the best kind of car.
And a paid off car that gets like 50 miles to the gallon.
It's true.
And
the Prius has taken plenty of trips to Wendover.
It's went all over. That thing's it's got over 200 some odd thousand miles on it. My wife's got over 300,000 on hers.
There you go.
And that's what we do. We rack the miles on them. No credit card debt.
It sounds like because of smart living is what's going to allow you to, like you said, be able to enjoy life.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever brings you to that point. For me, it was kind of Clark Howard and having a little self-evaluation and inventory of where I'm at, where I wanted to be. Other people might be listening to this podcast. Who knows? Whatever gets you to the dance and makes you make those decisions that, hey, I don't want to live in, debt or whatever. Whatever your motivation is, maybe it's taking the kids to Disneyland. Go for it. I'm listening to Clark Howard, right?
Yes.
And he has a phone call about these people that see they're online and they're seeing that this Disney VHS tape's worth thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Now in the eBay world, this is the biggest joke hoax that there is.
Farce.
You'll see these stories randomly that come up about the Black Diamond Disney Collection VHS tapes are worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay.
They're not.
All right.
So Clark's trying to explain this to these people about, well, if you go to eBay, you got to look up the sold prices. You can't look up what people are asking because I can say it's worth $20,000, and if somebody wants to pay me $20,000, they're going to get that, right? I'll sell it to you for that much.
Sure.
I mean, you can go buy one at the thrift store for 50 cents.
It's only worth what somebody pays for it.
So that's kind of that and Beanie Babies is kind of the online. You'll see. The more you're hanging out in these groups and stuff that we're talking about, you'll see these things pop up about, these stories of these things are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it has to be, for whatever reason, the Black Diamond edition of your VHS Disney tapes.
Okay.
So I was listening to Clark, and it just gave me a chuckle because these people were ready to retire. They have a whole collection of Disney VHS tapes.
Really?
They've seen that these are worth lots of money. So how do I go about selling them?
Well, I think you start from the beginning and check out what else is on there. And, I know that there's a lot of them. I think that there's one, I can't even remember what it was called, back when the Disney was kind of on the...
The No-Mobile?
No, there's
Shout out to Mike Painter.
Oh, yes.
Me and him used to watch the No-Mobile together.
Yeah, you and your buddy Briefcase. There was one,
Brutus?
Questionable...
the barber
show, yes, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. No, a Disney
Briefcase.
show.
Sorry,
Briefcase. There was one questionable, it was kind of like in that racial thing.
Oh, the Song of the South.
Yes.
Now that's one that might be worth money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to get into the whole everything of it, but if you have a VHS of that, it probably is worth money.
And getting into that VHS thing, too, I know it's hot, all those VHS to DVD converter things.
That's the weird thing. So I'm sitting here saying don't buy Disney DVDs. Yeah, the players, if you have the remotes and stuff, they don't make VHSs anymore.
Yeah.
If you have there's some
it's like a special converter one.
Yeah, there's certain ones out there. Do your research on them.
People are buying them for
hundreds
$50
of
to $100 on something, and they flip them for $250.
Now, that kind of stuff, you want to make sure obviously test them and make sure they work.
It's the right thing.
There are some VHSs, if you get in specific categories, maybe the horror movies that didn't come to DVD, or some cult classics that they didn't come to DVD, and you find them, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, if you want to go dig through VHSs all day, be my guess, and then hope they work. But
well, it sounds like we're to the point that there's only two things certain right now.
Oh my goodness, is it that time already?
We're going on an hour, my friend.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, and Derek Everett at Twitter, D-Roy Everett
at Twitter,
the Twitter machine. Get your boy on the Twitter machine, or else I'm going to have to keep yelling at corporations to make my life better. I'd rather talk to people.
I agree.
And show them my pictures of things I've sold.
That's a great item.
All right, Adam, two things in life that are for certain. What is that?
That would be DeathPiles.
And taxes.
While I'm riding